Welcome to a more excellent you. And today we'll be talking about how your personality can shape how you learn. Let me ask you a question. Can you imagine an introvert placed in a study group full of extroverts? Everyone is talking at the same time. Ideas are bouncing across the room. People are debating, interrupting, finishing each other's sentences. Meanwhile, the introvert is sitting there quietly and trying to process everything and unable to take part in the discussions. Before they even finish thinking about one idea, the conversation has already moved to the next three ideas and they end up more stressed in the end. Now, imagine the opposite, an extrovert sitting alone in a silent room, studying for hours. No discussion, no interaction, just them, their notes, and silence. After about 30 minutes, they'll start wondering, is this studying or is this punishment? Personally, for years, I avoided study groups like a plague. Whenever people suggested studying together, I used to wonder, how can this possibly be studying? Everyone was just talking and talking and talking. To me, it looked so chaotic, completely unproductive. I used to say it's a waste of my time. So I studied alone in a quiet room with my books, my notes, deep concentration, and honestly, it worked really well for me. But later, I realized something important. It wasn't that study groups were not effective. It was simply that my personality learns differently. And even though I didn't understand it at the time, I'm glad I listened to my inner self. Because one mistake many people make is assuming that learning works the same way for everyone. So you find that they end up going along with the popular opinion among their friends without even trying to understand what works for them. But in reality, people process information in different ways. Some people think before they speak, others speak to discover what they think. Some people need quiet space to process ideas. Others understand things better when they discuss them aloud with others. This difference is often connected to our personalities. And one of the most important personality differences that we can find affecting learning is the difference between introverts and extroverts. Introverts are the deep thinkers. If you're an introvert, your mind works like a deep processing system. Ideas have to go inward first. Introverts tend to think internally before expressing their thoughts. They often prefer quiet environments, time to reflect, space to process information privately. Many introverts learn best through reading carefully, writing notes, reflecting on ideas, studying independently. When introverts are in a very loud, fast paced learning environment, it can feel very overwhelming because their thinking process requires time and internal focus. Introverts often produce very thoughtful insights. They may not speak immediately in a discussion, but when they do contribute ideas that are usually well developed and precise. So you could say an introvert learner is often about the depth. They like to explore the ideas thoroughly before expressing them. Now, the extroverts are the active processors. Extroverts often learn in a very different way. For extroverts, thinking and talking are closely related. Many extroverts actually process ideas by speaking them out aloud. This means discussion helps them organize their thoughts. Extroverts often learn through study groups, class discussions, teaching concepts to others, asking questions out loud to others, through collaborative learning. Talking through a concept helps extroverts understand it more clearly. That's why many extroverts enjoy study groups, while an introvert might feel overwhelmed by all the conversation. An extrovert will feel energized by it. The discussion helps them test their ideas, clarify confusion, and connect concepts quickly. When extroverts are forced into long periods of silent study without interaction, they may struggle to stay engaged. Not because they lack discipline, but because their brains process ideas best through interaction and movement. The interesting thing is, introverts sometimes think extroverts are not really studying, and extroverts sometimes think introverts are too quiet and probably they are overthinking. And both sides misunderstand each other. But in reality, both are simply using different learning engines, and neither is better. They are just different ways of thinking. Looking back, avoiding study groups worked well for me because my learning style needed the quiet concentration. But for someone else, the same study group might have been the perfect learning environment for them. And that is the key lesson. Your learning style is not wrong. Your personality simply shapes how your brain processes information best. Once you understand that, you stop trying to learn like everyone else and you stop criticizing others, and learning becomes more effective and more enjoyable for you. Has this video helped you? I'm sure it has. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Till next time, bye for now.